Yo, what's up? Welcome to Kind of Funny Gamescast for Thursday, April 10th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Blessing Adeoye Jr. Joining me is LaCroix Poppy, Tim, fucking Geddes.
Here's the thing, Bless. Yesterday,
up,
me and you did an amazing episode of the Kind of Funny Gamescast where we found a video game music quiz where every 10 seconds a different video game song would play, 100 different songs ranging from very easy to very hard. We ran out of time because we had a big collab stream with Giant Bomb playing Monaco 2. That was a blast. You can check out the video on YouTube now. But because of that, we didn't get to do the very hard, the final 20 video game songs. So before we get into today's topic, after you get through the housekeeping and all that stuff, I think we got to do a quick lightning round just to see what we had left.
See, I'm scared because I think for yesterday's episode, not to spoil it for people, we started off very strong, obviously, because it goes from very easy to very hard. By the time we got into the latter half of that episode,
hit a wall.
It was a struggle bus.
We hit a wall.
We started struggling by normal.
Yeah.
So my fear is that we're very hard, we might not even get any.
I mean, as long as we get one, I will chalk that up as a win.
I like that
because,
goal.
we ended up getting 31 correct. But then once it got post easy and normal, we only got one right.
God.
So we have 20 left.
Wait,
did we get one
two?
more?
I thought I got like two back to back.
I wrote down 1.5.
Okay.
Well, I think that like one of those was still in the easy or normal area.
Oh.
It was like once we got to hard, we're in a bad place. But anyways,
Gotcha.
we'll get to that in a sec.
Remember, this is Kind of Funny Gamescast. Each and every weekday, we don't run you through the nerdy news because you did on the last show. We get together and talk about the biggest reviews, previews, and topics in video games live on YouTube, Twitch, and on podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, support us with the Kind of Funny membership on Patreon, YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, excuse me, to get all of our shows ad-free, watch us record them live, and get a daily exclusive show. For a chance to be a part of the show, some of your thoughts and opinions as YouTube Super Chats as we go. Housekeeping for you. Friday, we kick off the Elder Scrolls Online podcast, a Kind of Funny Gamescast limited series. You can join Greg, Mike, ZeniMax Online Studios director Matt Fyror, and the Elder Scrolls Online game director Rich Lambert as they start an unflinching 4-part show about the highs, lows, successes, and failures of the 10-year-old game. Greg calls it the deepest dive of his career, and it all kicks off Friday, tomorrow, as your normal Gamescast, as well as the Elder Scrolls Online YouTube. We never get this level of depth from developers, so don't miss it if you want to know how games really get made and keep going. Remember, we're an 11-person business, all about live talk shows. You got KFGD right before this, which was more of that Nintendo Switch 2 news. Then after this episode of Gamescast, you're getting the stream, which is Mike and Kevin playing Blueprints. On KFGD, I started to hint toward the idea of we might switch it up. I got the confirmation that we're not playing that game today, but we might be playing it later on.
The Blueprint stream should be good, though. Kevin and Mike playing a puzzle game.
Oh,
nothing can go wrong.
And it's one of the best games of the year. And so you're definitely going to want to check that out. And I can't wait to see Mike. Mike playing Blueprints is like the most like...
With Kevin Backseat Gaming.
With Kevin Backseat Gaming, especially because it's way more of a Kevin game, I think, than a Mike game. But I am fascinated to see how Mike tackles it. You're going to want to check that out right after this episode. If you're a Kind of Funny member, you can get today's Greg Way from Mike. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Anatoly Ost, Delaney Twining, Carl Jacobs, and Omega Buster. Today we're brought to you by BetterHelp, but we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's start with topic of the show. So before we get to the shit list,
we got to close it out.
We might shit the bed.
We might shit the bed. We got to try to get one of these, everyone. We're going to lightning through it. We're not going to pause.
No, we're not pausing.
No pausing.
Okay, no pausing.
No pausing. We're going straight through this thing. The final 20. We both walked in.
F-Zero? No. Armored Core. Oh, no way I fucked up on Mirror's Edge.
I would have not got this.
I should have known
if
better.
It was the vocal track.
Mario Sunshine.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Astro Boy on the Game Boy Advance. Cult classic.
Oh, shit.
Bastion.
Psychonauts
No, they already
2.
got Bastion.
Oh,
Park.
Thimble.
I said it yesterday.
You
I
did
said
say it
Thimbleweed
yesterday.
Park.
I don't know.
The Final Fantasy 15 demo, where you're in the bedroom.
It's
Oh, Little Nightmares. Yeah, I would never have gotten this. I love the word etude. Oh. I mean, Red Dead Redemption. Severed. Oh, I fuck with Severed too. I don't remember this.
This is so hard. Metroid Dread.
I was also thinking
Metroid Dread.
Yep.
Come on, let's go. We got one. We got one, everybody. Oh. Is this Doki? No, this isn't Doki Doki, is it? I mean, I'm going to say Doki Doki Literature Club. No, I was way off. Webbed. I've not heard of this
This is
one.
the first game I haven't heard of. That looks kind of cool, though.
Attacking the Power of Juju.
Fuck yeah.
Jack 2.
So close. Jack 2.
Can you imagine if it was Attacking the Power? Goddamn Juju.
So close.
Just recently played Jack 2 and I could not clock that.
This is some winter music. This is winter level. Gex.
I think it's like a festival.
What is Valkyria Chronicles? This has such winter vibes. It's like a racing game. I mean, it's
Kirby
not
Zero Ride.
It's so not Diddy Kong Racing, but that's what I'll say.
Puyo
Puyo Puyo Fever. See, this is where I would have said Shadow Colossus. I'm gonna say
Ori. It has to be there eventually.
Eventually. Nope.
Damn it.
Frostpunk.
No. Like the vibes.
Broken Age. Oh. You know, I've always wanted to play
played it.
Bushido Blade. I was looking at some clips the other day. I was like, this game looks fucking dope. Oh. A Capcom fighting game. Enter the Gungeon. Yeah, this is very hard.
Enter the Gungeon 2. Resident Evil.
Nier Replicant.
Shenmue.
Wow.
Thought it was the save room in Resident Evil.
DK64.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
It's not. Radiant Historia.
Oh, that was on the tip of my tongue.
How could I forget? Game of Thrones Telltale.
It's not a bad guess.
It's hype though.
Oh, Chance of Sonar.
Wow, man. That is impossibly difficult.
The Last Story on the Wii. It's got to be there eventually.
Oh shit, Crow Country.
Crow Country.
What? What? Putting that on the video game music thing is insane work.
I don't have anything.
No.
Really?
Interesting.
Bless. I would not have
this
placed
does not
it.
sound like
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like Last of Us,
Us?
but it's not, right? We'll say Last of Us. What is that? I can't read it.
I can't read it. It won't let me
Something
click off
with a
this
J?
thing. Hide.
Jotan.
Let's see if I can hide.
Jotun.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
Looks-
Okay, we
looks
got
good.
one.
We got one. That's
We
all we
got
needed.
one. Wow.
That was impossibly hard.
That was impossibly hard. The thing is, it's always that battle. You were talking about this yesterday doing Game Showdown. It's hard to like get ones that are reasonable for people to guess, but still exciting and like challenging. So it's not just like the most obvious shit.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like we need to find something with some type of parameters of like, all right, here are just a bunch of classic Nintendo games, and we need to say like what is the song? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's from this level, or I don't know. There has to be something that like there needs to be a level of understanding if we know these things.
It's almost like the categories are more so Ubisoft, Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, as opposed to easy to hard. Because like, what's hard to these guys, or what's normal to these people apparently making this thing, not normal to me.
Yeah.
Because goddamn,
I think we did pretty good overall, though.
Yeah, because what you said, how many
We
did
ended
we
up
get?
getting about 34
34 out of 100.
It was like half of what I predicted.
Yeah, because I predicted 80.
I mean, I
you
thought
did.
it was going to be hard. I was saying we should go for 25. So,
Yeah.
we're overachieving, according to me.
Yeah, well, congratulations to us.
Congratulations.
We should
to
do
us.
this again.
Yeah.
If people come across like other versions of these that
Let
are,
us know.
Yeah, let us know.
Please send them to us.
Yeah, blue sky to them or tweet them at us or whatever. And like, yeah, I'd
Because that was
want to
hella
do
fun.
this again.
I love that.
Yeah. All right, Tim, it's topic of the show. Today's a shit list. Of course, shit list is where I go online, I find a top 10 list, and I bring it back to you and Barrett, and we judge it for the audience amusement. Here's the thing. This is one that I didn't go out and seek. This is one
It sought us.
that sought us. The streets were calling out our names. We were saying, bless, Tim, Tim, bless.
Jubei.
There's a, what'd you say?
Jubei. It's the main character in Onimusha 2.
You're a
Like,
fucking
one
nerd.
of my only memories of that game, like, is because his mom is like a ghost, and she just keeps being like, Jubei, Jubei.
See, my
Doesn't
version
stop.
would be Heavy Rain, where somebody had a bug online. Have you seen this video? Somebody had a bug where they kept pressing the button and they kept calling Jason for
Yeah.
way longer.
Jason!
Hilarious. But yes, this list sought us. It is actually I don't even have the full title here. If I click into the article, it's not going to spoil the thing, right?
No, it shouldn't.
Perfect. It's from BAFTA.
So it's from BAFTA.
No way.
So this is a big deal. This is official. These people know what they're talking about.
It's a list of the most influential video games of all time.
The most influential video games of all time. I feel like often we need to define the list before we get into it of what's that even mean, right? Are we talking best? Are we talking top? Are we talking favorite when it comes to these top 10 lists?
Yes.
Most influential. That means that these games, every game on this list, all 10 of them, need to influence video games in a major way, in a top way, some would say.
In a top way.
Do you want to know how many games are actually on the list?
Yes.
Yes.
21.
There are
Oh, okay, 21
on a
games.
top 10 list.
Are they ranked?
That's my type of list.
Yes, they are.
Oh, they're
ranked.
ranked. Oh,
That's where the spice begins, everybody.
Oh, this would be a fun one.
This
I've
is
only
going
looked
to
at the
be-
21st spot after that because I wanted to check ahead just to make
Okay.
sure what the vibe was.
Gotcha. Oh, this is perfect.
21 ranked?
I didn't even realize they were ranked.
Is all 21 ranked or just the top 10 ranked and a bunch of honorable mentions?
No, the ranking starts at 21.
Okay.
All right. I mean,
Let's
this
throw
is.
the lists. Let's throw the games out.
Would it be fair to say that this is an easy list to make?
Yes.
In my head, this is an easy list to make.
I think so too. I think that this is an easy list to make with what?
21 is a,
60+% accuracy,
yeah.
right? Like I
Yeah.
feel like there might be some things we don't get, or there might be a different version of a thing that we say, but like I do think that there is a canon.
21
influential
is such a
games list
specific-
to an extent.
It's such a specific number.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're making a list of 21, everything there has to be like, okay, like this fits.
yeah.
Like we made a list of games, then whittled it down to what matters most, and then that was the number. This was the 21 mark. So yeah, let's just start naming things.
Super Mario Brothers.
See, this is where we get tricky. Because
Let's-
how many Mario games
Let's
can you
stick
fit on
with
this
Mario.
list?
Let's start with Mario.
Mario
And
64.
let's see. Mario 64.
I also reading this first blurb. It does say, to reflect the medium's universal impact, ahead of the 21st BAFTA Game Awards, we asked the public a provocative question. What is the most influential video game of all time?
Ah.
Fucker the public.
Okay, well that does change things. So to read, I'm going to read the whole first blurb, right? Words by Chris Schilling. Video games' influence on popular culture has never been more prevalent. Their effect is visible and audible in today's music, across the world of TV and cinema, and on the catwalk. On the catwalk.
On the catwalk.
Even your favorite language learning and fitness apps feature progression systems and rewards popularized by games. Oh, okay, I see where they're going. To reflect the medium's universal impact ahead of the 21st BAFTA Game Awards. Oh, that's how they get the 21. It's the 21st BAFTA Game Awards.
Okay,
I take
okay.
back what I said earlier. We asked the public a provocative question. What is the most influential video game of all time? So then I wonder if it's not ranked. I wonder if it's like they asked 21 people. Oh, let me read on. As more than one responder said, it's unfair to have to choose just one. Do you pick the pioneers that shaped the early days of the medium, the innovators that were ahead of their time, the ones that proved formative to your own creative journey, or simply the ones that made you most emotional? As might be expected, among the extraordinary number of responses we received was a staggering variety of games, ranging from titles that launched the industry to contemporary giants released mere months ago. The top 10 alone spans multiple genres, from platformers to shooters, sandbox adventures to simulations. So without further ado, here are the public's top 21, each of which, it's fair to say, has had a seismic impact on games and those who play them.
I don't think it's 21 people. I think there's probably like a poll. Or
Yeah,
something.
they just polled and then.
Yeah.
Okay,
So Mario-wise, Mario 1, Mario 64. I think that's it.
I agree.
I think we only see 64.
That would be an insane thing to do.
I mean, if you want to keep it to one per franchise, I would say 64.
Yeah.
I mean, Super Mario Brothers 1.
I know.
Yeah, but like
This is an example. If they don't have both, fuck this list.
I don't think you get both.
But they're so different. Like,
Actually, no, I think you do. I think you're right.
They're entirely different and like legitimately are the most influential games of like those genres and time periods. Like,
Yeah, I think
Mario saved the industry.
the argument I would make would be if you were to do one per franchise, which I think for this you shouldn't, but if you were to, I think maybe you keep Super Mario Brothers and then instead of Mario 64, you do like Zelda Ocarina or something
like that because the Z targeting.
Yeah, something else that had like a big impact on 3D.
Yeah,
GTA 3.
GTA 3
Writing that
for
down.
sure. Tetris, Pong.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I mean Pong needs to be on this list. Pong might be number one on this list. Pong, Tetris, yes.
Yeah, GTA 3 is a great pull.
Pac-Man.
Yes, or Miss Pac-Man just because of the modding and stuff like that. That might be the
Yeah,
but one of the two.
I'm writing down Miss Pac-Man. Halo.
Halo's complicated because I think Doom, right? For Doom or Wolfenstein for first-person shooter
Yeah,
stuff.
I was also going to throw GoldenEye in there too.
But I think Halo also, like the story Gary always says, where like he wasn't sold on like first person shooters on a console, and like he played it and he was like, oh shit, I understand it. Like I think that sticks in a lot of people's heads. So I would be surprised if Halo 1 was not on here.
Well, so Halo 1 is interesting because it like to what Barrett's saying, like it kind of defined console twin stick shooting, like dual stick shooting, not twin stick. And then Halo 2 having online.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, you can encapsulate so much by just saying Halo 2. But like also this is fan voted. You got to keep that in mind of like what would people say? I guess if you ask somebody, because I think the question they ask people are, what is the most influential video game of all time? Which I think does paint this a bit different, right?
Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, see, now we're cooking. They said they said up to games from just a few months ago.
Yeah. Portal?
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah.
Portal or Half-Life.
Half-Life.
Something in that family.
I would
Half-Life.
say Half-Life probably more likely.
Yeah.
But like if you asked, did they say people on the street? No, they said what did they say? Who did they say they're asking? They just said they asked the public.
Yeah.
Dark Souls. Not Demon Souls, Dark Souls.
Dark Souls, that's good.
Final Fantasy 7.
Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid should be on this list.
Metal Gear Solid, yeah, for sure.
I mean, yeah.
Final Fantasy 7, it's a tough one.
Final Fantasy 7, I think, has a strong chance. In fact, I'm going to say yes. This is a public poll, yes.
But what did it influence?
People's childhoods.
Yeah. No, but really though, like that to me is like I feel like Metal Gear Solid is a better example of what we would be saying Final Fantasy 7 influenced.
Mm-hmm.
I think Final Fantasy 7 in particular influenced mainstream awareness of JRPGs in America specifically.
Yeah.
Like that was like a huge kind of moment.
For sure.
I'm going to write it down. I think Final Fantasy 7, just based off of popularity alone.
Yeah, there's
I think that's more of
there.
a contender.
Someone in chat also pops up Pokemon. I don't think so for some reason.
It's a rough one because again, like what are we talking about? Like influential, but I do think that Pokemon, everything you just said about Final Fantasy 7, I think you could apply.
Yeah,
to Pokemon
you could apply to Pokemon, and then also when you're talking about a public poll, like what are the answers that like polled people that are filling out a poll are gonna say, right? Like when this is a public thing, when it's a vote thing, I think Pokemon just has the popularity.
And it did influence a lot in terms of mechanics and the training and community and all that stuff.
And even like if you want to take it into like even just how you franchise a video game and like
spin
that into different products and make it a thing that's bigger than just the system.
You won me over.
Fortnite, Minecraft.
Yes.
Fortnite and
Yes.
Minecraft both have to be there.
Yes. I'm just trying to think of genres now, right? Because it's like cool fighting game, Street
World of
Fighter
Warcraft.
2. Okay, yeah, World
Yeah.
of Warcraft for sure. For
So
sure.
far, we have a pretty good list.
Yeah.
Because we've
What are
written
we
down.
missing
Let me
here?
count how much we've written down.
Rogue.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what did you say, Barrett?
Rogue.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't, it's not
that
gonna
might
be
be
there.
too in the weeds, like nerdy, because I don't know if like
For a public poll.
again, public poll, like do people know that like roguelike and roguelite are specifically based off a game called Rogue?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I mean, I wonder if then you get Hades as an answer.
Or Rogue Legacy. Rogue Legacy definitely has.
I mean, Rogue Legacy would be such a banger, but I think for the popularity thing of it, for people that are filling out a poll, when you think of the last 5 years of roguelites and like how roguelites have accelerated, I think a lot of people would attribute that to something like Hades.
that's fair.
Yeah. This one is a little weird too, but I think Limbo, like being a
indies.
breakout hit.
See, over that, I would
smaller
say
titles.
Journey.
See, I would have said Super Meat Boy.
Yeah.
I think one of those three.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Limbo
Cave
/
Story. I mean,
Journey.
if we're gonna do that, it might as well be Cave Story. Like-
Shout out Cave Story.
Biggest first indie game, really.
I put Limbo / Journey / Meat Boy / Cave Story as one entry. Sims? Is that influential? Or is that just impactful?
I think that's a good distinction there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it starts getting tough.
Because I like the
shooters.
genre thing
Yeah,
of, you know,
puzzle games.
is there like an influential sports game? There's a lot of them, I feel like. A lot of choices. There was what was the football game? It was like not Madden. It was like NFL 2K
2K5.
2K5.
That was the big one because that also online and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like that could be there. But it depends on like what we're talking about. Like again, what is the influence? Like what is the thing that they're not introducing, but like emblematic of?
Did we say Last of Us?
No.
Oh.
I could see Last of Us on there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I feel like that would be a poor choice when it's like, well, the answer is Uncharted then. Like because we're talking influence. It's like
yeah,
Last
but
of Us
also,
exists because of Uncharted in a direct way of
Yes.
like style of game.
it's similar in the conversation of Rogue and Hades, right? Like, yes, Last of Us exists because of Uncharted, but then the kind of tone and depth of The Last of Us, I think, really skyrocketed this focus in on cinematic storytelling in video games past the summer blockbuster popcorn flick that Uncharted was.
Yeah,
to spoil a little bit of my Naughty Dog video. And so I do think in terms of storytelling in video games, I think Last of Us is probably on there more likely than Uncharted.
Yeah, because I don't think you get a modern God of War without Last of Us, right? Like you don't get that from Uncharted. I don't
Yeah.
think you get like a lot of modern Sony. I think comes more from Last of Us than Uncharted, even though you get Last of Us because of Uncharted. And also I would even like put in. I mean, we didn't say Resident Evil 4,
Oh, definitely.
but like Resident Evil 4, I think
Oh,
almost
1000%.
equally influences a Last of Us
Yeah.
as much as an Uncharted does. I mean, we got if I write Resident Evil 4 and Last of Us, that brings us to 20. So we just need one more game. Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
What's a game that's like emblematic of open world?
I mean, GTA 3.
Yeah, but like that's sandbox. You know what I mean? I feel like we talked about
Assassin's
GTA
Creed.
as a sandbox
Assassin's
game,
Creed 2.
Yeah.
and it was like there was a shift to open world where it like really changed.
See, the
game.
real answer probably is Assassin's Creed 2, but Skyrim. Skyrim might actually be the public answer on
yeah,
that
that's actually a really good answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good call.
Super Metroid.
one. Ooh. Yeah. I mean, and
Metroid
Castlevania.
Yeah, but Super Metroid is like that's where Metroidvania comes from. Because like Metroid 1, sure, but like Super
But what
Metroid,
do people think of first, Super Metroid or Symphony of the Night?
Super Metroid.
Really?
Yeah.
Symphony of the Night, I think, is all
That's almost like
things
more of a
considered fairly niche.
Yeah, that's more of a nerdy
Okay.
pick.
Okay.
I mean, that's 22. I feel good about that. I mean, I'm sure. Are there any major things we're missing before we hop into this? Because right now, to read it through, what I have written down, I have Super Mario Brothers, Mario 64, GTA 3. Wait, did we even say Zelda Ocarina?
At
You
one point,
said
we
it,
did.
but
I said it, but I
on the
didn't write it
list.
down. I'm going to write down Zelda Ocarina.
Yeah, it should be.
So Mario Brothers, or Super Mario Brothers, Mario 64, Zelda Ocarina, GTA 3, Pong, Tetris, Miss Pac-Man, Street Fighter 2, Half-Life, Dark Souls, Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy 7, Pokemon, Fortnite, Minecraft, World of Warcraft, Hades, Limbo / Journey / Meat Boy / Cave Story. One of those.
Yeah.
NFL 2K5, Resident Evil 4, Last of Us, Skyrim, Super Metroid.
We're missing mobile games.
Sure. Which one? Angry Birds?
Candy Crush.
Angry Birds or Candy Crush. I think both are great answers, and I feel like they're
The match 3 still has such a chokehold on so many people, you know.
Yeah.
Let's go Candy Crush.
Candy Crush?
That I think's the right move.
That makes
I'll never
sense.
forget having to do guides for Candy Crush at IGN for like a month. I really questioned my career decisions for that
Yeah,
month.
I had to do Where's the Water? Something.
Also, I do want to shout out PUBG.
Oh, PUBG, dude.
Ooh,
Yeah.
You put Fortnite. I actually think it's PUBG. In talking about just influence.
I think both of them.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, nowadays.
Because PUBG had influence on like accelerating
Battle Royale.
the battle royale genre,
Yeah.
but Fortnite I think is beyond that, right? Like Fortnite it's battle royale, but also it's like monetization
games and all that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
So I'll add PUBG under Fortnite.
only because the opening thing says contemporary giants released mere months ago. I'm trying to think of like what came out
Astrobot.
That's not
influential, you know?
Yeah, but like what else?
You know,
Metaphor.
What
Oh,
came
Metaphor.
out last year?
Could it be Metaphor?
What's it influence?
Yeah, and it's
I don't
like
think there's
I
anything
think
from
like
last year
games
that's
that are
influencing
coming out
anything.
mere months ago, it's like too early to say that they're influential because we don't know what the impact on.
Well, I think that's
is.
that's where the bullshit comes in.
Oh god,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is
we'll
the
see.
public.
Yeah, because I mean, technically, there's nothing that would have came out a few months ago that would be influential by now. Also, did we say Baldur's Gate 3?
No.
I think you get Baldur's Gate 3 on that list.
I mean, have we seen that influence anything?
Yeah, like if we're
not
going
yet.
that rabbit hole, then it's like KOTOR, you know? Like
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
they're saying this spans everything. Like Baldur's Gate 3,
Yeah.
I can see being influential. You know what I mean? Like I think it will in the long run.
I wonder. I mean, I like that'd be cool, but I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
And I'm only putting that because they say like this is like spanning up until
Yeah.
maybe even a few months ago. So like there has to be something. If I'm picking one game for the last couple years, it would be BG3 or
Influence?
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, yes,
yeah,
but
Elden
even
Ring
that
more likely.
influential's a weird one. But
Yeah, just for recent games, you know.
yeah, if there had to be a recent game, I think Elden Ring. But I also struggle to think about like what that actually means.
Yeah. All right.
Because if every
Before-
list is just popular games, then it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's get into it.
Before we move on, somebody said Balatro. Could that be it?
I don't know. I mean, again, I feel like these recent games, it's impossible to talk about influence because we don't know what it's going to influence or how it's going to.
Unless time travel. Think about it. Think about it during this ad break. Of course, patreon.com/kindoffunny, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, where you can go to get the Kind of Funny membership, which allows you to get shows ad-free. And speaking of ads, let us tell you about our sponsors.
This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. We all know that therapy can feel like a lofty investment, but we also know that there's nothing better to invest in than yourself. The state of your mind is just as important as your physical health. Let's talk numbers. Traditional in-person therapy can cost anywhere from $100 to $250 per session, which adds up fast. But with BetterHelp Online Therapy, you can save on average up to 50% per session. Therapy should feel accessible, not like a luxury. With BetterHelp, you pay a flat fee for weekly sessions, saving you big on cost and on time. Some of my best friends use BetterHelp and love how helpful it can be for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself, and it isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Your well-being is worth it. Visit betterhelp.com/kindafunny to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/kindafunny. BetterHelp.com/kindafunny.
And we're back. I want to shout out the chat that says we forgot to mention Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that's
That's a
Crazy
good
work
one.
on our part.
Yeah, that's nuts on our part. But
Yeah.
yeah, I would put that in there if we're talking
Yeah.
about recent stuff.
Climbing.
Yeah, I mean,
Physics.
honestly,
Yeah,
just like
Breath of
the
the Wild is
open
an easy
air
answer.
conversation. Yeah, that's. Look, here's the thing. Talking about influence, there are multiple Breath of the Wild likes. We see games and we're like, oh, it looks like Breath of the Wild all the freaking time.
Yeah.
Whether that's visual style or gliding or climbing, it might not have been the first to do it, but it's the one that did it that way.
Yeah, Kebabs in chat says, I disagree with Breath of the Wild. It didn't influence anything. Kebabs, I'm tired of your anti-Breath of the Wild fucking campaign.
Also, aren't you a fan of Immortals Phoenix Rising, the game that is just a lesser Breath of the Wild?
No. They made that in a silo. They didn't
okay.
play Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
they made that out of their own brains. Fucking people at Ubisoft were sitting there. They're like, "Yo, what if we made a game that was open world, it had puzzles, and looked exactly like this other game? We haven't seen this other game though. You know what I mean? We're Ubisoft. Like, no, Kebabs."
I had a dream that I quit this job, quit jobs in general, and all I did was go on a quest once the Switch 2 comes out to 100% Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. That's all I did with my life.
Fuck
Good for you.
It's a good dream.
Good for you. I had a dream last night that they announced Joker for Smash. And then I woke up and I was like, oh, Joker's already in Smash. That's how good Smash Ultimate is.
Smash Ultimate, everyone.
That's how good Smash Ultimate is. I was so hyped
I
for the
had a dream about a memory.
Hell yeah.
Let's hop into this list. Of course, this is coming from BAFTA.org. All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Number 21. Interesting. Grand Theft Auto.
Okay.
I disagree with
Okay.
In 1997, Dundee's DMA design produced one of the great success stories of the British video game industry. GTA wasn't the first game to let you play the bad guy, but it was the one that popularized the idea of video games letting you indulge in transgressive acts across a realistic urban sandbox.
No. This is a bad pick.
It's a bizarre pick, but I'm not mad at it yet.
I'm mad at it.
Because think about it. You don't get GTA 3 without GTA.
Nah, see, that's taking this whole thing too far. That's going too far.
We're getting rogue on this list.
I mean, we might get
Which I
rogue on this
respect.
list. Here's the thing.
I don't know if I respect Grand Theft Auto 1.
If we're
No.
going to like not only are we looking at the fucking the bottom of the tree, we're digging underneath and looking at the roots to see where everything truly comes from. I don't know. This is a weird pick, but also, yeah, if we get rogue, if we're talking about Pong, if we're talking about the fucking roots of everything.
That's not influence, though. That's not the thing that influenced.
I'm
That's
not mad
yet.
yet. I'm not mad yet.
Reverse Nepo shit.
Nepo Queen, Tim.
Yes.
Nepo Queen. At number 20, Skyrim.
Yep.
So far, I mean, GTA is weird, but yeah, I'm not mad at Skyrim.
Two things into the list. And I'm pissed off about the first one.
Because everybody was making it seem like entry by entry, this shit was gonna be a trash fire.
No, man, Skyrim is one of the very few games that any games media person that was at that E3 when they showed this has a memory of how it took everything over.
Yeah.
Like, this game was different.
Remember 11-11-11?
Yeah, man.
We're never gonna get that again.
No, that's how time works.
Like, oh, never mind, that doesn't work. I was gonna say like we get like a 22-22-22.
Nope.
That's not how much
that's not
work.
how that works.
Yeah,
Shout out
we're
to-
never gonna get that
11
again.
was the one and only.
Damn, that's
that we'll
crazy.
ever
Remember
get.
Watchmen? They were 369 Tim. Remember that?
Damn, she
Did we
fine.
never? Did we not get a 12-12-12? People didn't want to release on December 12th.
Wasn't that the end of the world?
By the Mayans,
Yeah.
It was sometime in December.
That was the
I
Mayan
think.
apocalypse.
Yeah.
which didn't happen. Also, like, what happened to Coney? Remember Coney?
Why'd you say that as if it's a looming threat?
It could be. I didn't get an update on him. Is he
Oh my
around
God.
still? Like, should we be doing something about Coney? All right.
Holy fuck.
At number 19, we got Grand Theft Auto 3. That's awesome. GTA 3 is number 19.
Okay.
And GTA 1 is number 21.
Yeah.
Why would you even put them this close together? That's bizarre. That's bizarre. I mean, I'm happy it's here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the way the votes came down.
Even
you know?
with the way one was talked about, like, no, I don't stand by that.
See, here's the thing that I'm curious about. You asked the public, was
You're
this
so caught up in this public thing.
Well, no, because like, do you know what it is? It's because I do all the kind of foodie polls
Yeah.
and I sift through the
Yeah, I
answers.
get it.
And so often when people write into polls, they don't know how to write in for accuracy. And so did my thing unplug? Okay. And so I will have to assume when they write in like Final Fantasy, sometimes depending on the question, I'm like, oh, they mean Final Fantasy 7. Like, I just got to assume that they actually mean this other thing.
And as someone who does the game of the year, like all that stuff, it's just like sometimes the math just fucking maths and it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, with this poll, did you guys see a bunch of people write in with Grand Theft Auto? And then you went, all right, Grand Theft Auto 1 is the one. When you know in your head that they actually meant Grand Theft Auto 3?
They have to, they're more responsible
I'm just saying.
than that.
Unless they're using AI to compile this shit.
Shit.
I'm just saying. It's happening more and more. At number 18, we got Dark Souls.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Absolutely.
So far, numbers 20, 19, and 18.
It's a good
fantastic.
top 20. I'll say that.
It's a good top 20 so far, even though GTA 3 should be in top 5.
Mhm.
We didn't talk about that. That should be at least top 10.
Yeah, for sure.
That should be higher than Dark Souls,
Yeah.
even though Dark Souls should also be higher, I think. But all right, that's number 18. At number 17, Final Fantasy 7.
Interesting. Can you read it?
Yeah, arguably no game has more completely justified Sony's decision to take console gaming from cartridges to CDs with the original PlayStation. That additional storage didn't just allow Final Fantasy to move from 2D sprites to 3D polygons, it afforded Square Enix the opportunity to tell an emotive tale via expansive cutscenes. That it has required more than 2 games to remake speaks volumes to the legacy of its story, which, more than a quarter century on, features one of the medium's most famous and heartbreaking deaths.
I don't know that I stand with this for influence, man. Like, even with
Really?
what they just say about influence. What's any of that? What did this influence?
I mean, I guess I think it is that line between influence and impact. Because I think this is probably one of the most, in Final Fantasy
Impact,
7,
absolutely.
one of the most impactful games of all
Period.
time.
Yeah.
And I think that's almost like what they're talking about here a bit more. Because I understand what they're driving at as far as like what you can do with CDs and what Final Fantasy 7 was able to do with the CD, right? And then also when we have the game being remade over the course of a decade right now, right? Like that is a franchise, or that is a game
Impactful
entry.
franchise. Yeah.
And that has, become a franchise, right? It has stayed. It has permeated.
I mean, but just thinking about like what games did it influence and what did the game itself influence? I don't know that I literally like look at things and go, oh man, it's Final Fantasy 7. It's Final Fantasy, sure, as a franchise, but like, I don't know.
I mean, part of me also wants to say, like, could Final Fantasy 7 just also be the Final Fantasy pick? Talking about even just the JRPG pick, talking about how big JRPGs are in the gaming space. But if that's the case, in the way that you had GTA and GTA 3, it's like, are you just going to put Final Fantasy 1 there then?
Maybe.
Dragon Quest 1.
Persona 1.
At number 16, we got Baldur's Gate 3.
I think this is too early to say it's influenced anything.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's the best iteration of this type of CRPG, but
Dungeons & Dragons' influence on games is incalculable. Larian Studios, multi-award winner, the latest and perhaps greatest of all D&D inspired adventures, is the new standard by which all tabletop inspired RPGs will be judged. Beating out Nintendo's astonishing Tears of the Kingdom to multiple Game of the Year prizes is the least of its accomplishments. Actor Neil Newbin, who plays the unforgettable Asterion, rightly points out that its depth of interaction, romances, and also friendships, storytelling, and freedom have helped legitimize games as an art form. Okay, well, I disagree with that last part. I don't think Baldur's Gate 3 is the reason why games are an art form.
No, I don't agree with this.
that's a quote.
I'm with you guys that it's way too early. I do think, like, if you had to pick something for the last few years that is going to end up being one of those ones that we talk about, Baldur's Gate 3. I think Baldur's Gate 3 is right next to Elden Ring in like Breath of the Wild for that stuff.
I would hope. I just think that that's the type of easier said than done type thing. If we're talking about what's going to be the downline influence of Baldur's Gate, and you're telling me that it's going to be incredibly well realized characters and story and stuff, it's like, all right, that's a lofty ass thing to be inspired to do. You get what I'm saying? Like,
but I think it's more so
be in the pudding on that one.
I think it's more so like depth of writing and how you tackle characters and like how you like tackle RPG interaction. Like Baldur's Gate 3 is one of the rare RPGs where legitimately I'm like, oh, this is an RPG. This is a game where I feel like I'm actually role playing these characters and I'm actually like, I feel like I am a character in this story. A lot of other video game RPGs almost feel like they're role playing as tabletop RPGs, if you know what I mean. Where it's like, all right, cool, I got choices, but I know how limited this is.
My only stance on this is I think Baldur's Gate is too good and too unique of a unicorn in this situation that like I just don't see that happening.
Interesting.
I can see people trying, but like Super Metroid and Symphony of the Night are impactful because or influential because they've influenced other games that like are able to like match that energy and like do things. We'll see. I just think that that's like it might be too good. It might be too much of a new standard that no one else is going to be able to hit.
I think there's not going to be another. Oh, I'm not going to say there's not going to be another. I think more AAA and more RPGs in general going forward are going to have to look at Baldur's Gate 3 in like their design and like all right, how do we make an RPG, a AAA RPG that's going to actually live up to the standards that people have now because of Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
I legitimately think that going forward, like any AAA developer making one of these games has to look at this. But we'll see. Again, like this is a weird one because it is so early that it's hard to argue that it belongs on this list. But since they're trying to span up until modern times, I'm not as mad at it. At number 15, we got World of Warcraft.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Makes total sense.
Surprised it's not higher.
Here's the thing. It's like when these pop up and it's like, oh, I don't even need the explanation.
Yeah.
We know.
At number 14, we got Metal Gear Solid.
Mm-hmm.
People were acting like this is a crazy list.
Man, what's that mean for the title parts? That's, oh, man.
And number...
Yeah, because Metal Gear
Solid makes so much sense.
Totally.
Yeah. At number 13, we got Pong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, makes sense. And number 12, we got Tomb Raider. Interesting.
Very interesting. Can you read the blurb on this one?
Yes.
Because I immediately don't agree.
Only a handful of characters transcend video games. The likes of Sonic, Mario, and Pikachu are almost universally recognized, and Lara Croft belongs on that short list. The intrepid archaeologist was born out of necessity. Designer Toby Gard wanted to make an Indiana Jones-like game, but it would have been too costly to create two playable characters. Gard stuck with his preferred choice, and the result was a new gaming icon. As actor Jane Perry explains, quote, Lara opened the door for strong female characters in games. She's a positive role model for everyone and a true hero, end quote.
This seems like a bit of a stretch. Like, what did that say about what this list is actually about? Not much. I do think an argument could be made. I don't agree with it for this, but like could be made of Tomb Raider does have a, if not unique, rare ability to transcend being more than just a game. Like everybody knows who Tomb Raider, right? In a way that is only can be said about things like Mario or Pikachu.
Yeah.
That's very impressive for the type of game that it is and all of that stuff. And like the Angelina Jolie movies were like
those
real
were
movies,
huge at the
huge
time.
deals outside of video games, and like, but there was also an interest because of what it was. So I don't know, maybe that influences like, oh, video games cannot be just video games, and like characters can be more. But like, I don't know.
I see it. I respect it being on the list. I think seeing it above some of the other things we've seen so far is a bit questionable.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is I'm starting to feel like this isn't ranked. Like even if they say it is, like we're just when we're talking about things like influence, it's hard to rank influence, right?
True. Yeah.
Because we're not just talking about like the quality of the game or all that. It's like literally like ranking on the list. I almost just feel like this list shouldn't have been ranked.
I feel.
But we'll see.
I'm with you as far as if I was making this list, I probably wouldn't have ranked it just for the nature of it. To what you're saying, I look at this as in the same vein as Final Fantasy VII, where I think this is more impact than
100%.
influence.
Snowbike Mike in the chat says Tomb Raider has to be on this list 100%. Mike, if you have an argument, I'd love for you to come in here and explain it.
He really loves the second movie.
Because
was that shit called Cradle of Filth?
Something
like that?
Cradle no way. It's Cradle of Filth.
Like no.
But yeah, I think Tomb Raider is impactful as hell, right? It goes back to the Final Fantasy VII thing. It goes back to the thing we're saying of like everybody knows what Tomb Raider is. Everybody knows who Lara Croft is, right? You want to talk about opening doors for more female characters to be in video games. I think maybe you can make that argument, right? Like I think there are things you can say regarding how big of a franchise Tomb Raider is. But like, and maybe it's like it checks enough of those boxes where it makes it the best case scenario for one game representing multiple of those things. Because like even for like the translation through to other mediums, I feel like it could make the argument for like a Mario or a Sonic or Pikachu Pokemon would be the number one for me to pick of like a transcendent franchise. But yeah, I'm not mad at it on this list based on it being most influential. I'd move it down. Like I think this could have been number 21. But I'm not necessarily blown away by it being on this list. Number 12 is kind of high, but yeah, I'm with you of like maybe this shouldn't be a ranked list. At number 11, we got Tetris. Hell yeah. Oh,
Hell yeah.
one I forgot to mention, Mortal Kombat. That should be here.
You know, I was thinking about that. I think Street Fighter 2 is probably if we're going to just have
Like a fighting game representative.
Yeah.
See, I was thinking more ESRB.
Okay.
Like when I mean, again, back into the conversation of Tomb Raider and all that shit, right? Like transcendent franchise. Everybody knows Mortal Kombat, but then also, it actually influenced
the ESRB.
ESRB stuff.
That's actually, that is the definition of influence there. I'll take that.
Yeah. And also shout out to Tetris. But actually, no. I was gonna answer my own question. I was gonna be like, what has Tetris influenced? But there are so many Tetris-like video games, and then also it influenced the success of the Game Boy, and so can't look past that. And also just video games maturing as a medium as well. At number 10, we got The Sims.
Yeah, you called it out.
Here we go.
Interesting. Can you read this one?
Having simulated a city, Will Wright and Maxis decided to zoom in and let you take control of its inhabitants. The result was effectively a virtual doll's house that lets you set your own goals for your characters. Would you give them a better life or turn their world into a waking nightmare? The Sims expanded the medium's audience, attracting more casual and female players, and later providing a safe space for LGBTQ plus players to express themselves. As voter Anna Higgs explains it, it was a, quote, a god game that became a social phenomenon. It brought joy and made us all feel a bit more in control of our lives, even if the baby was on fire on the kitchen floor, end quote.
You know what? Like, I feel like we should have had more conviction with The Sims when we talked about it earlier. Because, definitely, like, when you look at even just things like Animal Crossing and all the the cozy sim games and all that stuff, like I feel like there's multiple forks in the road that to some extent can easily be traced back to Sims, and the people that like Sims like all of these new types of games.
Is Sims before GTA 3? It was, right?
It must have been very similar timing, right?
Because I feel
90s.
Yes, because the first Sims was on
98.
I know it was PC, but was it like on Super Nintendo? Or no, I'm thinking of SimCity.
No, you're thinking SimCity, yeah, which was a Nintendo published game.
Wow.
The Sims was 2000, and from what GTA 3 was 2001.
Gotcha. Okay, well, around the same time. Because I was going to say, like, I think the sandbox elements of what makes Sims special, right? Like, that is also part of why we revere a game like GTA 3 and, like, how that permeates. I think the sandboxiness of, like, I'm going to trap this person in a pool, watch them drown. Like, be a game letting you do that. It's crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
At number 9, we got Half-Life 2. Again, I don't understand why people were so mad at this list. And I don't want to. I know I'm saying that too early. There's still a lot of game. There's still a lot of game left on the board.
I mean, there's 8 left, right?
But I'm not mad at this. So what are we missing?
But yeah, let's go back to our list. What are
Mario?
I mean, there's no Mario. There's no Zelda. Have we gotten GTA 3 on this list?
Yeah.
Yes, we got it. It was number 19. I mean, we got Pong. We got Tetris. We've not seen Pac-Man, but like, cool. Street Fighter 2. Let's see. Did we get Dark Souls?
Yeah, Dark Souls was on here.
Dark Souls is on there. We got Metal Gear. Yeah, we got Metal Gear Solid. We got FF7. We've not seen Pokemon yet. We've not seen Fortnite. We've not seen PUBG, Minecraft. Did we see World of Warcraft?
Yes.
No Hades. Limbo Journey, Meat Boy, Cave Story. We've not seen any of those. No sports games yet. No RE4. Last of Us. We've seen Skyrim. No Super Metroid, no Candy Crush. We've seen Baldur's Gate 3, and no Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
so there's a lot left.
There is a lot left
that they could leave out. But depending on what they choose to leave out here, I could see this landing.
Well, so what's interesting about Half-Life 2 here is like, okay, cool. What's the influence of it? I feel like it would be here for kind of the story-based first-person shooter like, campaign. But then there's also the kind of like the physics side of it, right? Like I think that Half-Life 2 is influential because it is kind of where gaming meets tech and like pushing tech forward. And yeah, I feel like you can really kind of like draw lines between a lot of very successful games that came after Half-Life 2. You can say Half-Life 1 as well, but I do think Half-Life 2 was a demonstrable step up in a way that actually mattered. It felt like a big technological leap for what gaming can be. And I think that Half-Life 2 and like the orange box in general kind of, I think, imagine very much inspired a generation of game developers to
for
make
sure.
games.
Good call. At number 8, we have Super Mario 64.
Love seeing my guy.
We cooking. And yeah, 8. I mean, that's good. I think it could be higher, but I think this is good as well.
Yeah, not seeing in top 5 definitely feels weird, but
Yeah.
I don't think we see Super Mario Brothers 1 on here.
Yeah.
Simply crazy.
I mean, we'll see. I think
that's nuts.
If Mario 64 at number 8 makes you think that maybe you got Super Mario Brothers at 1 or 2.
I mean, Mario Brothers is number 1.
Yeah.
Like, if this is a ranked list, like, I think just sheerly by definition of what we're talking about.
Yeah. We'll see. At number 7, we got what? Kingdom Come Deliverance 2?
No fucking shot.
I need you to read each and every word.
No
that they
fucking
say
shot.
here.
Okay, now I get why what the
What?
fuck?
Yo,
What influence has this had?
Tim, Kind of Funny's fucked up. We didn't play this game. I saw the Reddits. I saw the comments. I saw everybody
We
getting
didn't
mad.
play the first true masterpiece of 2025 yet.
We should have played this video game.
Played
Apparently.
it, yeah.
What? What?
I put it right above Mario 64.
Oh my god, that's
Oh,
so
wait.
I need you to read
funny.
it, Bless. I need you to read it.
Not even 2 months old, the most recent entry in our list has clearly attracted a vocal and supportive fan base.
Yep.
Offering a
Yep.
a handsomely rendered and wonderfully open-ended sandbox where you're free to shape every man apprentice Henry as you please. Deliverance 2's commitment, to authenticity found favor among voters. The word immersive showed up in more responses than for any other game. If its future impact has yet to be determined, this historical RPG has already left a mark on its players. As one put it, quote, "It gives me hope for the future of gaming."
Oh, great.
There's no chance that this game is on most influential game list in 5 years.
You don't think so?
No.
Zero chance.
I think it definitely has an audience. People who've played it really fucking love it. But in terms of being influential, I feel like what this game does, there's been so many games before it that have done that. What is this game doing differently and new that's going to inspire a next generation of video games? That's a big question, right?
I'm gonna play.
Especially it being 2 months old. It's very much okay, yes, a bunch of
I want to take devil's advocate here. Think of all the games that have been influenced by Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. You know, think about it.
Shut the fuck up, Les.
That's hilarious.
This definitely feels like they knew about this poll and the entire fan base came in because they're upset that us and other outlets haven't covered it every single day of every single hour. So they're we need it to be on this list and voted the fuck for it.
All right.
Damn, that's
I'm just
such
saying, man.
That's tough, man. Because I was honestly gonna defend the fuck out of this list, even though it's had some slip ups. I was going to go to bat. This is one of those ones where a singular entry, can just ruin an entire list.
Yeah, I'm not going that far because I still think that this is a good list. I'm taking out the ranked aspect of it in my mind because I think it's silly and easily no one will ever agree about that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
GTA 1, no. Kingdom Come Deliverance, no. Baldur's Gate 3, I'm on a wait and see. I get it, but we'll see.
Again, it's too early.
Besides that, I think this list is kind of our list, but hey, we have 6 more to go, so let's see.
Let's see. At number 6, Minecraft.
Yep.
Which is great. I'm laughing because you sandwiched Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 between Mario 64 and Minecraft.
Yeah.
But yes, this makes sense. Shout out Minecraft. At number 5, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. This list is so funny because it's so good.
They're fucking
it takes
nailing
such a
it.
left turn.
And then there's just weird ass choices.
it's like you have a friend that's in your close friend circle where you've known him for years and you're oh man, I rock with this guy, and they just say something racist against the most random group of people, and you're like, wait, when did this happen? When did you start
so
liking those
specific.
folks? Why would you say those words?
Hey, Derek, can you do me a favor?
What?
I have a conspiracy theory. Can you go back to the beginning of the list? And I want to see how they spell out Grand Theft Auto. Okay, there's Grand Theft Auto. Can you go down to 19? Grand Theft Auto 3. Okay, my theory was going to be one of them said GTA, one said Grand Theft Auto. I'm like, there's going to be some fucking SEO shit. They're trying to game the system. Kingdom Come Deliverance. Everyone's searching for it.
Yeah.
Let's put it there. But no, that theory has been debunked.
Spoon case has been there, bless. I'm glad that's resonating with you, chat.
God.
All right.
That
was number 5. At number 4, Half-Life 1.
Cool.
All right, double dipping.
Okay.
Not mad at it.
I mean, I'm a little mad just for like, I guess, you know what?
But again, I was saying Half-Life 1, in terms of the single player story campaign, like that they fucking did it. 2, the tech. Pushing the tech forward, man, that changed things. That opened game design.
See, I feel like we could have consolidated here a little bit.
We could have.
But I'll let it slide. I think you gave such a good argument for Half-Life 2 that I'm not as mad as I would have been.
And earlier we were saying, or I was saying that we have Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man. It's like the modding scene, like Half-Life created Counter-Strike. You know what I mean? Portal, like all of these things came from this game.
So we're down to top 3. There's 3 spots left on the list. Are there things that we need to see in this top 3? Super Mario Brothers. If you're having GTA and GTA 3,
Super Mario
and if you're
Brothers.
having Half-Life 1 and 2,
yeah, dude,
you got to have
need
Super Mario Brothers.
Super Mario Brothers.
What are the 2 other games, do you think?
I feel like they've got all the ones that I'm like, if they don't fucking have this, I'm going to punch somebody besides Mario.
Resident Evil 4. You got to have Resident Evil 4.
Honestly, you need Street Fighter 2. If you don't have Street Fighter 2, that's insane.
I don't think we see Street Fighter 2.
Think about arcades. Think about what it did for multiplayer. Think about just character select screens, health bars. Like,
yeah.
Fortnite, we still haven't seen.
Oh, wait, we've not seen Fortnite?
No. Fortnite's number 1.
Fortnite's number 1.
There's no Battle Royale. You're right.
Fortnite number 1. Super Mario Brothers number 2.
Combos. Dude, Street Fighter 2 better fucking be there.
I'm going to say my
Last of
prediction.
Us.
I'm going to say Resident Evil 4 instead of Last of Us. I'm going to say, in fact, I'm going to reorder my thing because I actually have a little bit of trust in them. So I'm going to say number 1 is going to be Super Mario Brothers. I think number 2 is going to be Fortnite. And number 3 is going to be Resident Evil 4. Ooh, we didn't even get Call of Duty.
Do we think Black Myth Wukong shows up on this list?
No.
But I get where your head's at there, Barrett. Call of Duty, actually, you're fucking right.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare, that should be on the list. Really should be on the list. All right, let's get to number 3.
All right. At number 3, we got Super Mario Brothers. All right, I'll take
I can't hate this list.
Yeah.
I can't hate it. They did good. I didn't do the perfect job.
Tim, you're speaking soon here.
I'm a little early.
There's still 2 more spots left. There's 2 more spots left.
There is.
But hey, like they're checking all the boxes.
They're checking them, man.
They're checking them.
At number 2, we got Doom. Okay. I'm not mad at that.
Okay.
I'm not mad.
So I feel like with the last couple choices that we just saw, it's like, all right, it sucks that we're not also going to get Breath of the Wild or this or that or whatever.
Yeah.
The Halos and all that. But it's like, I can see what they're trying to do.
Well, at least we got Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Again, not every choice has been perfect, but overall, I think it hit where it needed to hit.
And if you're not going to have a Halo on here, which again to me is a little crazy, like Doom, if you want to take it all the way back, right? Like we were saying at the top of the show here, Doom fits that mold in terms of first person shooter.
Yeah.
Number 1. Number 1, we got.
No fucking shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
No fucking shot.
We got Shenmue.
Okay.
What Shenmue
No,
fan
shut
made
the
this list?
fuck up.
This is
crazy.
No, okay, first off,
Tim's
I
about to go into
want to
defense
say
mode.
Shenmue at number 1 is wild work. This is insane behavior. Like, somebody needs to get checked hard. Having said that,
I knew he was going to say having said that. I knew he was going to say having said that.
Y'all don't know. Y'all don't fucking know. Shenmue
on.
was incredible, influential. This game deserves to be on this type of list. This game was so open. You go out there talking to people, getting stories and all this stuff, like so ahead of its time. And we've heard so many different developers legitimately cite Shenmue as why they make their game design choices and all that stuff. Yes, I think Shenmue deserves a spot on this list. Number 1, hell no. Number 20, sure. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
You know what? Fair.
QTEs.
You know what? Fair.
Like,
I'll
there's a
accept it.
lot for Shenmue of like game design where you look at it, like playing Shenmue 1 nowadays, you're like, whoa, they were doing games like this back then? There's so much here. What did they say about it, though?
They said a surprise #1 in some respects. So yeah, this is definitely ranked. And yet, Yu Suzuki's 1999 opus increasingly feels like the original blueprint for the dynamic, detailed settings that we have since become settings that have since become the expected norm at gaming's bleeding edge. Settings used in such industry titans like Grand Theft Auto and Assassin's Creed franchises. The phrase "living, breathing world" might be a marketing cliche today, but when Shenmue arrived, it accurately described the game's astonishingly vivid rendition of Yokosuka, where taciturn hero Ryo Hazuki searches for his father's killer.
And more than anything, this influenced Mega 64 to make one of my favorite Mega 64 sketches of all time. Rocco rocking around the streets looking for the man that killed his father. You don't get better than that.
That straightforward but absorbing revenge plot played second fiddle to simple pleasures of inhabiting such a convicting urban space with its own timetable. Non-player characters were granted lives of their own, and so Ryo would have to fit into their routines and rituals. In both its embrace of a slower-paced lifestyle and its use of an in-game clock to dictate the player's activities, it could be seen as a precursor to Animal Crossing or Stardew Valley. The quieter moments in otherwise noisy blockbusters such as Uncharted 4, The Last of Us Part 2, and God of War surely took their cues from Suzuki's game, and its spirit lives on through the increasingly popular Yakuza Like a Dragon series, which similarly encourages you to slow down every now and again. Shenmue may have struggled commercially on release, but if it felt out of step with its peers, that's only because it marched to its own leisurely rhythm. And as we all know, the genius of the true pioneers is often only appreciated after the fact. Its unique appeal is summed up by voter Jesse Strife. Quote, "I played this game when it initially launched, and even now, I've yet to encounter another game quite like it. Shenmue holds a special place in my heart." End quote.
The Lou in the chat says Shenmue started QTEs, confirming what I thought but wasn't sure about. Yeah, great write-up. I actually think that that's awesome. And yeah, them bringing up all the Animal Crossing and all just like the side quests and side things. Yes, like Shenmue at that time was such a thing of like, it's a game you can just live in and like actually just live in it. #1 is insane. Like, and more than that, like, I don't even think I can stand by an argument of top 10.
Here's the thing. That write-up moved me.
Yeah.
I started tearing up a little bit. I was like, damn, I gotta play Shenmue. This shit sounds fucking innovative.
Oh my God, that's so freaking funny.
Bear, you had something to say.
No, I was just saying it's insane. I
Yeah.
was just backing up what Tim was saying.
Yeah.
Listen, I fuck with that write-up so hard that I might almost, you might almost get a thumbs up from me, but not quite. There are too many mistakes on this list. Too many missteps. I won't even say mistakes because all this stuff is purposeful. These aren't mistakes. These are missteps.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm still giving it a thumb up. Not 2 thumbs up. I'm not enthusiastic about it. We always say we like when lists have something to say.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me this list didn't have something to say. With Shenmue at #1, and they tried backing it up. They showed their homework.
I just feel like what the omissions here, right? Like
Street Fighter 2 to me is the biggest omission and a battle royale.
yeah,
Insane.
No Fortnite feels incredibly off. And again, this is a fan poll thing. Like this ain't on the BAFTAs necessarily, but like I think no Fortnite is kind of wild. BG3 here over Breath of the Wild. If you want to talk about more recent type games, I know Breath of the Wild is 2017 now, but even still, like that feels a bit off. No Resident Evil 4 feels a bit off.
Yeah,
like
that's wild.
There's
stuff.
too many omissions plus weird inclusions like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 that makes me have to give the thumbs down.
Yeah, I have to give the thumbs down as well. Like again, it's like almost there to being a thumbs up, but yeah, like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 being above, what was it, Mario 64? What are we doing?
No Super Metroid either. Feels odd.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, just a lot of weird omissions here. Even though a lot of the inclusions I do think are good. Like this had way more good inclusions than I would have thought based on how people were talking about it. And it has like, I mean, 95% of the inclusions are actually pretty good here.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
I'm not mad.
And we called them.
And we called them, yeah. Like, you know, Mario 64, Half-Life, Sims, like this is a good, even Tomb Raider. I'm like, you know what? I'm not mad at that. There's so much good here, but it's the bad that spoils the bunch for me.
Yeah, hey, that happens.
Tim, this has been another episode of the Kind of Funny Gamescast. This has been another episode of the Shit List. And let me tell you, the Shit List always delivers. Not a bad episode of the shit list.
Yeah,
as far as
that's
I'm
true.
concerned.
That's true.
Of course, each and every weekday, we get together and talk about the biggest reviews, previews, and topics in video games live on YouTube, Twitch, and on podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, support us with the Kind of Funny membership on Patreon or YouTube to get all of our shows ad-free, watch us record them live, and get a daily exclusive show. Catch today's KFGD on YouTube or podcast services, and know that until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.